Jai Hind everyone. I'm Ankita Sharma. I work here as an assistant professor in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. So today we are going to discuss about our complex topic number 4, that is switching in data communication networks, that comes under the subject code KEC 063 of the subject data communication networks. So first of all, these are the overviews that we are going to discuss. Network layer, switching concepts, circuit switching, packet switching, and message switching. These three are the types of switching: circuit switching, packet switching, and message switching. So network layer, as we all know, network layer is a part of OSI model, which we have discussed in our very first lecture. So network layer is generally responsible for the source to destination delivery of a packet or a frame through different networks, and these packets, and it converts frames into packets. So all the frames are converted into packets, and these packets are further transferred from source to destination through network layer. These are the functions of network layer. It has source to destination delivery of a packet, logical addressing, routing, and internetworking. These are the duties, further different duties of network layer: networking, addressing, routing, packetizing, and fragmenting. Now, switching concepts. What is a switching? So switches are generally hardware or software that we used for temporary connection between two or more devices linked to the switch in network. But the devices are not connected to each other directly. They are connected to each other through a switch. So switches are needed to connect some multiple devices, making one-to-one communication, and these are the three types of switchings, that is circuit switching, packet switching, and message switching. So first of all, we are going to discuss about the circuit switching, and before that we'll discuss about how a switch network looks like. So this is a switch network. As we can see, here are different switches that are present in the network, and there are 7 switches: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and all the devices in this network, all the devices are connected to each other through the switch. For example, here A is connected to switch 1, further B is also connected to switch 1, C is connected to switch B, C is connected to switch 2, D is also connected to switch 2. Similarly, L and K are connected to switch number 3. Further, 2 is also connected here. So if I have to transfer some data between, suppose I have to transfer some data from system A to system H. So if we have to communicate something from A to H, then this can be communicated very easily. How? With the help of these switches. If we closely observe this structure, all the devices are connected to each other through these switches. With the help of these switches, we can connect the whole network to each other. Just like the mesh topology, we have studied earlier also about the mesh topology. In mesh topology, what was that? All the devices were connected to each other through the links, but here links are switches. So what will be the route? A will transfer the data to switch number 1, 1 will transfer the data to switch 4, 4 will be transferring the data to 7, and now 7 will be transferring the data to system H. This is a one network, one route that we can see, but there can be multiple routes here. Multiple switches can be used. Other switches also can be used. Suppose one has transferred the data to switch number 2, and 2 has transferred the data to switch number 5, and 5 had transferred to switch number 7. One thing is short here, if we look, that one can only be the one switch for A is only connected through switch 1 with this link, and here H is connected to switch number 7 via this link. So that means 1 and 7 switches will be fixed for this, for A and for H, but among all these remaining 5 switches, any switches can be selected. For example, we'll take some another route. A has transferred the data to 1, 1 has transferred it to 3, 3 had transferred it to 6 number switch, and 6 to 7. So this will be our mode by which our data is transmitting from A to H. Similarly, the data can be transferred from I to C. If we have to transfer the data from I to C, what will be the switches? Switch number is 6 connected to I, and here 6 will be connected to 3, 4 and 7. So any of these routes can be used. So this is our switch network. Because of switch network, all the devices are connected to each other. This is a great advantage of the switch network. Now we have 3 switching methods. These methods consist of circuit switching, packet switching and message switching. So first of all, out of these 3, we are going to discuss about the circuit switching. First of all, what is a circuit switching? It creates direct physical connection between 2 devices. For example, our phone or computers. If I have to communicate from my phone to some other person, so I can directly connect to that particular mobile phone or computer. So any computer can be connected to any other device using using levers and n by n folded switches. We'll be discussing that in next few slides. N by n folded switches are used here, and these can connect n number of lines in full duplex mode. What was full duplex mode? Full duplex mode was, just memorize it. We have some systems. I have 2 systems. I'm having these 2 systems, and these 2 systems simultaneously can transfer data from one to another. So this can be the sender, this will be the receiver, and in another case, this can be the sender and this can be the receiver. So the data can travel in both directions simultaneously. Further, circuit switching is also of 2 types, that is space division and time division. So this is a circuit switch network. Here also we see there are different switches provided, switch number 1 and switch number 2. With the help of these 2 switches, total 7 with the help of these 2 and 2 here. With the help of these, how many switches are there? We are having 4 switches here, and with the help of these 4 switches, what we can do? We can connect these 7 systems together. For example, if I have to transfer the data from A to F, what I am going to do? My sender is A, and A will transfer the data to system F. What will happen? Here, A will be having this switch. It will complete the connection here. Now this switch is connected to switch number 2. Second number switch will connect this to this switch. If D is our output, either F or D. Suppose D is our output. So it will connect to switch number 2. 2 will connect to switch number 3. Now 3 will further having 2 parts. One is connected to D and one is connected to E. This 1 and 2. These 2 holes that we can see, these 2 are connected. 3 will connect this to D. So this complete system connects the 2 circuits, 2 computers. But in different case, let's take another example. Suppose I have to transfer data from A to from A to F, what will happen then? A will be connecting through this circuit. It will connect here. It will connect here now to F. Through here, it will connect to switch number 4. So the switches which are covering number 1, number 2 and switch number 4. Further in switch number 2, we can easily see there are 2 networks. So it will connect it to system number F. So this is a network. This is a route which will be followed by sender to transfer the data from A to F. This is a switch which we were discussing, n by n fold switches. Here we are having different system, m number of devices. Here I am having m number of devices. Here I am having n number of devices. So this is a switch. This is a symbol of a switch, just like a folded one. So 1 will be connected to all the devices, 2 will be connected to all the devices, 3 will be connected to all the devices, but 1 at a time. Next is, this is also an example of folded switches. What will happen here? System 1 is here. This is a folded switch and this will connect through the same system. It is a folded switch example. So what are the limitations of circuit switching? It is specially designed for voice communication, for example, our telephones, but it is not suitable for data communication. So once a circuit is established here, it will remain for some duration or for some session. For that, what will happen? It will create some temporary or leased connection. Sometimes it will create a temporary connection or sometimes it will create a leased or permanent connection. So less data rate because of point-to-point connection. Because there are some connections that is only point-to-point. One can connect to only one other device. It is not multi-point. For that, the data rate will be less. What is next is our packet switching. What is a packet switching? Packet switching is very good or better for our data transmission as compared to the circuit switching. Here, data are transmitted through unit of variable length blocks that are called packets. Suppose I am having some data that is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and this is the data. So what will happen? We'll be having some packets and these packets will be containing the bits and that data will be transmitted through the receiver from the sender in the form of a packet, and longer transmissions are divided into multiple packets so that the data can transfer pretty much quickly. So packet length is further decided by the network selected there. So further, packet switching is also of 2 types. First one is our datagram approach and next is our virtual circuit approach. In virtual circuit approach, virtual circuit approach is also of 2 types, that is SVC and PVC. We'll be discussing this also. So first of all, what is datagram approach? In datagram approach, what will happen? A message is divided into multiple packets here. Suppose I am having some data and it is divided into small packets and that packets will be sent by the sender to receiver and that receiver can get the data through different routes. In circuit switch networks, as we have seen, there were different networks. There were different routes going to the same destination. In the switch network, let us see it one more time. What we have discussed, if we have to transfer data from A to I, what will happen? This is the route that we can see. It is a highlighted route. Next route will be, let's take another example. So next route will be from 1 to 2, from 2 to 4, and from 4 to 6, and further from 6 to I. This is also a route. So all that packets, multiple packets can be transmitted from sender to receiver in different routes. So that is our datagram approach. So ordering of packets and destination is done by the transport layer. This is datagram approach. Suppose sender have to send the data which is in form of packets and we have total number of 4 packets here. Suppose I am having 4 packets here. What will happen? This is the root, this is the network. These all are the switches. These black dots, these are our switches. So what will happen? Suppose one is traveling from this route. As we can see, one is going from here to our, to our system, this one, not this one. So it is going to the system number X. From here, one is there. Next is 2. 2 has chosen this route. This is the route for 2. 2 come here. Here is 2, 2, 2, and to the destination. 3 will be traveling from this route. 3, 3, 3, and here also 3. And 4 will be traveling from the same route from which 2 has traveled. So 4, 4, 4, further 4. So this is the network which we can easily understand by looking at these routes. All the routes are different, but they are reaching at the same point. So X will be having all the packets, but from different routes. This is a multiple channel in datagram approach. This is a single channel. These are multiple channels. What will happen in multiple channels? Suppose A have to transfer the data from A to X. Suppose I have to transfer from A to Y or A to X here. The data is traveling from A to X. What will happen? The channels will be, one will go from here, 1, 2, 3 again from here, and 2 will go from here. This will be our channel number 1. That is connecting system number A to system number Y. But if I have to connect another system, so we will be connecting this. If we have to connect B, B will be connecting to X. These 1, 2 packets, these packets will be transferring from here. Next is virtual circuit approach. Virtual circuit approach generally uses a single route to send all the packets, all the messages. No different routes are followed here. A single route will be followed to send all the messages at that time. So there are two formats, SVC and PVC. SVC is our switched virtual network and PVC is our, this is SVC and this is PVC. SVC is switched virtual network and PVC is permanent virtual network. So what is SVC? SVC, here connection will be temporary, just like dial-up lines. If I had to talk to someone, I'm just dialing it, and when I will cut the phone, that connection is temporary here. So during transmission, what will happen? A connection is established and all the packets are sent and proper acknowledgement will be there, and after getting the acknowledgement, the connection will be terminated. Suppose I am calling someone and that someone pick up the phone and we have just our conversation and they will just cut the phone. So the connection is over at that time. It's not like that the connection will be engaged. Next, this is the example of switched virtual network. So what is happening here? A connection has been established. For example, we have to transfer the data from system number A to system number X. So A will connect through X with the help of these switches 1, 3 and 4. So 1, 3 and 4. These three switches are used here, 1, 3 and 4. A is connected to X. The connection is done. Packets are transferring. All the packets are traveling at the same time. We can see here, same time. So data has been transferred here, and after the data has been transferred, the connection was released. It is available for others also. But in permanent virtual network, what will happen? The connection will be permanent. It will be engaged. No other user will be able to use that network. Only 2 dedicated users will use that particular route or network, and it will always get the same route. So we can call them leased lines also. So during transmission, no connection establishment or termination will be occurring here. So this is an example of PVC. The connection is made permanently. This is a permanent connection. So if A have to transfer the data to system number X, it will be using only this route. So it will be using 1, 3 and 4. This will be used. But 1, 2 and 4 will not be used. Why? Because these switches are leased. These connections are leased. So circuit switch network versus virtual circuit network, there is a difference here. Circuit switch network have a path by which all the data can be transferred. It is a circuit switch connection. We can see the circuits connected to each other. But here in virtual circuit, the route is visible. We can enter from here. The data is transmitted from here and it will reach here. The route is not visible. We have to create this route permanently. Next is message switching. What will happen in message switching? In message switching, it will be storing the data and then after that it will be forwarding the data. So it will store the data first and then it will forward the data. Here the message is received and stored until appropriate route is free, and after that it sends it along. And message switching further uses secondary storage, that is a disk, and packet switching, it uses primary storage, that is RAM. So this is the diagram, or this is the message switching circuit. What will happen here? Suppose this system have to transfer. A is going to transfer the data to system number D, and C is transferring the data to, data is entering from here. It will stop at this switch. It will store and forward it to here. It will store and forward. It will go here till system number D. Further here from C, M2 packet will come here, store and forward, M2, store and forward, and to system number B. Like this, the data can be easily transferred. Thank you.